Welcome to Susie's Secret Recipes. My name is Susie Hyde, and I was raised on a farm in Washington, Oklahoma. My husband Richard lived about a mile from where I was raised, and we now live out in the country right outside of Lexington, Oklahoma, which is about 20 minutes from where we were raised. We have 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls, 4 grandsons and a granddaughter, and we do enjoy spending time with our family. I have had the best childhood, and my parents, they raised us kids to, number 1, to keep Jesus in our heart. Number 2, just to enjoy the simple things in life. And so I have brought everything that I've learned from my childhood and brought it into my household. And so I hope you enjoyed my channel, and I look forward to sharing with you some of the things that I enjoy. So sit back and let's just keep it country simple. And today, guys, we're going to talk about how important it is to just be you. We are in a world today where the world tells us that we need to look like this. You know, if our hair isn't just right, if we're not skinny, or if we're not, we don't have the right clothes, or so on and so on and so on, then you just don't measure up, and that is so far from the truth. God made us unique. There's not a one of us that is alike, and I like that. I like that, we are all our own individuals, and God did not design us to sit and compare ourselves to each other. And it's funny to me what we look at and think is beautiful. Because, some of the most beautiful people may not be the most physically beautiful people in the world, but they blow the other ones out of the water because of how they are inside. You can have the perfect hair, the perfect height, the perfect weight, and all of this, and be the most hateful person in the world. So, we don't need to sit and tear ourselves down. So what you're doing when you tear yourself down is you're telling God that He didn't know what He was doing when He created you. And of course He did. He created you for a specific purpose and for a reason. And you don't need to go around with your head hung down because you feel like you don't look just right, because you do. I don't know how many people that I know of that have struggled with this. They never felt like they measured up, and they spent their whole life, some of them just changed their appearance over and over and over and over. They would dress this way, try to look this way. Some went to like drastic measures to change their appearance, and they still weren't happy with themselves, so they change again, do this, and they're always trying to please somebody else. They won't just be themselves. They're wanting to, fit in to someone else's world instead of their own. And, that's not good and it's not right. You need to be your own person. And so if there's something that you like that maybe, the people around you don't, that's okay. Don't change yourself to fit into someone else's life. Be yourself. Just be you. And so a lot of you know that I like Les Brown. He is a wonderful motivational speaker. He's very inspirational, a Christian. I really do admire him. And he's had a rough life. He's 76 or 77 years old now, but growing up, he was labeled educatable, mentally retarded. And so he had it hard. Kids made fun of him, and he just went around never thinking that he was ever going to make anything of himself, And one day, he was a twin for one thing. There was his brother Wesley, who was very, very smart. And so one day, they had a substitute teacher come. And so this teacher called Les Brown to the front. And of course the kids started laughing, and he was panicking, and he went up and he said, "I can't do anything." And he said, "Yes, you can. I want you to read this out loud." And he's like, "I can't do that." And he goes, I'm mentally retarded. And of course the kids were laughing and stuff like that. And Les says, "I will always remember what he told me." He goes, "To the day I die, I will always remember that." And he uses this quote a lot, and I like it. And the teacher looked at him and said, "Do not let someone else's opinion of you become your reality." And so a light bulb come on for him, And Les Brown went on to be a representative for the state of Ohio. He done some amazing things in his life, and he is known as one of the most, or actually he's known as the motivator. That's what he is, because he's the best motivation speaker there is, and he has made millions in his life. And so, and he's helped so many other people. And so, guys, don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. And so the next time that you find yourself tearing yourself down, or thinking, I'm not good enough, or I don't look just right, or whatever, just stop and remember, God made you the way you are for a reason. And if you feel like you need to change something about yourself, then become an encourager. Encourage others, lift people up. We have so many people that are filled with hate. They hate a certain race, or they just hate in general. And they're full of anger, and they're constantly tearing somebody else down. And the reason they do that is because they're miserable and they're not happy with themselves. So guys, don't fall into that category. Be an encourager and lift others up. We need more of that. And so guys, every morning when you wake up, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you are a winner, you are worthy, you are designed for greatness, and take time to thank God for all the things that He's done for you. We take a lot of things for granted, and so we're blessed in more ways than one. And so head out the door with your head up, and see what you can do to encourage someone else, to lift them up. And so if I can be of any help, then please, I would love to visit with you. Just send me a private message. And thanks again, guys, for subscribing to my channel. Happy trails.